Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless, hardly ever politically correct. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast.
What up, my dudes? This is Trent here with the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. I am joined by Phil, Jordan, and producer Seth is in the back as always. It's cold in the dude den, but as usual, the dudes are buzzing. The dudes are buzzing. Before we get into the craziest NFL weekend this season, at the very least, would you say this week, craziest weekend this season for sure? Maybe not.
I don't know. I'm still... We have to get rid of him saying another thing now. You know, we got rid of the introduction.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got to get rid of him saying buzzing.
The
Like,
buzzing,
yeah.
Phil, good weekend. Was it buzzing? Was it good?
I had a good weekend, still in the Christmas spirit, very much in the Christmas spirit. Watched a lot of football. This was one of my favorite weekends of football. Fresno State was on. Then there was multiple NFL games. There was UFC, all kind of going on.
You actually watched UFC this weekend, huh?
I did. I watched so much sports this weekend. It was
And I watched almost nothing yesterday.
Yeah, we kind of reverse roles
Yeah.
there. And I only had one TV, but I was watching a lot of sports. And it was nice. I kind of just vegged out a little bit. Still had the Christmas lights on, had some Christmas cookies, relaxed a little bit, and just watched a ton of football. It was like primo weekend, as they say. Primo weekend.
I think there was a span of like 5 hours on Saturday where I didn't leave my couch.
Yeah, it was nice,
great.
right?
It was great. Yeah.
That's a normal Saturday, though.
Not for me, but
I wish.
Yeah, no,
it was great though. I really enjoyed it.
That's what I do every Saturday when I'm not coaching basketball. I sit on the couch.
I'm just gonna be like, I have a bunch of, I'm getting called into work on a Saturday, and I'm just gonna go to your house and do the exact same thing.
I got a work call, and it's actually like I got to go to the business. So
Yeah, and then it's gonna be like, all right, I'm here. Your wife always makes sure you like make it to the place correctly. Like, all right, I'm here.
Turns off his location.
location.
Why'd you stop sharing your location with me? I don't know.
I'm like found because I'm geotagging at Jordan's house on Instagram. Oh man, Jordan, if only, man. If we could just turn that thing into that could be like a podcast studio. We could probably turn that into like a small pizza restaurant.
Yeah,
like
dude's,
there's so
a dude's
many,
playground is what Jordan's apartment should be.
Jordan, you have like sky is the limit with that place. We would not have.
That's the exact opposite of what it is. The sky's the limit.
This is how I picture Jordan's house. 3 TVs in the living room and about 19 beanbags.
Yeah, he has some
No
folding
beanbags.
chairs. What, do you have furniture in there?
Empty pizza boxes everywhere.
That's not true.
And plastic forks.
Do you have silverware?
I have silverware.
I honestly was going on the thing that you would. I know.
I remember a year ago listening to this pod and not hearing Jordan didn't have silver, and I was like baffled.
But here's the thing, though. If you would have gone this long without silverware, I think it would have been even cooler.
I think I still would have applauded you.
Yeah, either way.
Either way.
I wish I didn't have to have silverware right now. Like it's like a dishwashing
I prefer my
experience.
hands.
Yeah, and if you're only eating finger foods, Taco
Exactly.
Bell.
Well, I have a question
pizza,
for you guys. How did you guys get your first set of silverware?
Wedding registry.
Seth?
Same.
Trent?
Basically, yeah, wedding registry.
Hey, you know what,
Like,
Jordan?
I
That's
been married, so...
that's a great excuse, honestly.
Yeah.
Great excuse.
So that's what I'm saying. You should have just stuck to it. Had like 150,000 sporks that you could have just gone through.
Trent, you lived you were a bachelor for a while. What did you use?
I had like silverware around, but it was like all hand-me-down. Like I didn't go buy.
He just had lots of
silverware.
soups.
Yeah.
He just
I prefer the straw. It was just the protein shake life, bulking season.
He just had Jamba every single day. It's like, man.
Jamba and Baskin Robbins milkshakes. No.
He's like, I've had 15 milkshakes this week. Why have I not put any muscle on?
I don't
Anyhow,
even know
that was my weekend. Just a lot of vegging out. Jordan did not. Did you watch any football?
I watched a lot of football. And there was some great football all weekend, and I was like, man, this is amazing. What if NFL was on Saturdays, all football season? I was like, probably the worst thing that could happen for my marriage would be like the NFL to be on Saturday and Sunday. Like,
Yeah.
because I watch college football too, but it's not like NFL. Like I actually, I'll kind of zone out a little bit, maybe have a notepad like, oh, that was funny. Someone just got hit with a snowball or whatever, something that I feel like people might want to hear. Seth, how was your weekend? I know Jordan's, kind of down bad right now, as Seth would say. Is that in? Do people say that?
Yeah, that's still a saying.
I didn't know it was a saying until you said it like 2 weeks ago.
You're the only person I've ever heard say that saying before.
No.
You've never heard anyone in high school say down bad?
No.
I've heard people outside of like in like just normal life, like, oh, that person's down. Yeah, Seth, I've heard
Yeah,
that.
I heard it because I coach baseball with high schoolers, and that's how I heard it like a year or two ago, and they still say it. So, and I just kind of caught on. And I thought it was dumb at first, but then I kind of say it, and you're like, that's kind of funny.
That's the thing. It is funny. It's dumb and it's funny.
I've never heard high schoolers say that. That's kind of crazy that I haven't heard
They
them
usually
say
say it when it's, or I think there's like a meme on the internet where it's like a dude will text a girl and like she'll deny him, and they're like, yeah, that guy's down bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, it's kind of sort of like that, and now they kind of apply it to everything. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty funny. I have not heard, I mostly hear other adults saying it like as a joke, but yeah, I mean, I think it's like pretty meme, like you said. Like a lot of
it's very meme like for
Yeah.
sure. And
Jordan,
speaking of,
go ahead. No, I was just gonna go back to Jordan. Like, I was like concerned my legs weren't gonna work after I had like, close to 100 tortilla chips and drank just a ton of soda this weekend. Like, what do you?
did you
feel-
run it off?
No, that's the problem. I was like, man, are my legs gonna get working?
Just eggnog and chips and dip all weekend.
It's like one of those things when you open your eyes, you're just like hoping that they're still kicking when you get off the couch. Like I was like, how do people do this?
Because
it was a great feeling, but it was also like
Not everyone eats 100 tortilla chips and drinks 100 sodas while they do it.
so you. But
Feels like I've never eaten this many bagel bites before. My parents used to monitor my intake on these things,
but it's like if you're living a luxurious life, like Seth, when you were sitting on the couch for 5 hours, like you had like some snacks, right? You were just
Oh yeah,
you weren't
Dude,
just sitting there like a
I was-
freak.
No,
Jordan's like that's why people don't have 100 tortilla chips. It's like, dude, you don't
I
snack.
don't snack
Seth,
while I
let me-
yeah, for like 3 of the hours, like my kids were asleep and my wife was gone, so I was just like reclining on the couch, consuming food, and I was just like, this is really fun.
just pajamas on and just
Yeah, I was snuggled in a blanket, dude. I was like Christmas tree on. I'm like, this is
heated
great.
blanket.
That's what I'm saying.
Great, 2 out of 3 great football games, by the way, on Saturday.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was really fun to watch.
So
Especially
what-
that morning game was insane.
good.
Yeah. So what do you're not snacking the entire time?
No, I'm not snacking.
What do you do? Just sit there like an NPC and just like not eat?
He basically looks like
What
George
is that?
Pickens.
What is
in front of his TV.
He just sits there completely
What
just
is an M-
straight up.
I don't know what that means either.
George Pickens, the meme.
No, but so whatever
NPC.
It's a newer thing going around, but it's called like a non-playable character, and it's like those.
I've heard of it.
It's basically like those. It's basically those people that walk around. So you're the main character in a video game, and like they have like 1 or 2 lines, and like that's it. You know?
Oh, okay.
So and they just do the same thing. They'll walk 10 steps, turn around, walk 10 steps, turn around. So basically, Jordan just sitting on his couch straight up and just not moving.
So is that what you do?
How do you not eat and sit on the couch for
I
10
know.
hours?
That's what I'm saying. Or drink it. Like hydrate at
He
least.
only gets up to empty his bedpans.
Jordan, come on, give us something. You
Yeah.
haven't said anything of like you haven't
You
said
might be the
anything
most
wrong.
mysterious man in the world, from what I'm hearing, or unmysterious.
What? I don't understand why it's not normal to just sit there. Why do you have to eat things? Like I drink water. Like I just drink. Like
Yeah, I get
Phil.
what you're saying. Like at a certain point, you get like full, but like you don't like.
I don't think you do.
I mean, every
can
Sunday,
tell.
every Sunday when I watch football and I'm sitting there for longer than a span of an hour, I'm definitely going to be like snacking on
you,
something.
you guys
for sure.
don't. No, but the difference is because you guys don't do it all the time.
For sure.
So
yeah.
it's not normal.
It's like
so,
working out. He's paced himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like
I also don't want to get fat. I
It's
do
a
it so
lifestyle
much, like-
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. If you did do it probably as much as like we did it in your consistency, that'd be sad.
yeah, so for us it's like a luxury to just
Yes,
yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
It was
It's a
like a
luxury.
vacation for you,
It
Phil.
was like a vacation for
It
me.
felt
A
like a vacation.
staycation.
Staycation, yeah. I had a little. My stomach wasn't feeling great after all those chips. For
Sure
sure.
it wasn't.
Like when you ingest like a full thing of salsa, it's like not great. But yeah, I mean, I guess I get it. But I couldn't also just sit there and just sip water. Anyhow, we probably spent way too much time on this.
Jordan, your weekend, it was I guess we've said enough.
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch any of the football yesterday. I watched the fourth quarter of the Bills game when I got home last night, but I was pretty much gone all day. I was at a high school basketball tournament, so we were watching the Vikings Colts game right before the game. So watched the end of that a little bit, but then the game started. So
I've been to like Fresno State games with you before, Jordan, and you'll like be watching the game, but you'll have your UFC fight on like on your phone, and you'll be watching you'll be at the game cheering and watching on your phone. Do you do the same thing when you're coaching? Do you have a phone out and you're like, okay,
he's too busy.
Set the pick, set the pick. Oh, first down.
no.
He's too busy getting close to getting the tee.
may check the score. Quick check of the ESPN app at halftime, but that's about it.
Nice. Yeah, you got to get I get that for sure.
Especially I'm the assistant coach with varsity. The head coach is a little different.
Yeah,
assistant coach, you can maybe sneak a quick glance every once in a while.
Take a little sneaky peeky.
Sure, if that's what you call it, Trent.
Anyways, I had a good weekend. Lots of football.
Guy's buzzing for sure.
What's in that water bottle?
It's emergency. It's a little cold in here. Don't want to get sick. Keep the electrolytes high. Vitamin C. You ever heard of it? No sick days. But anyways, actually, let's just knock on the table here after saying that.
It's not wood.
I'm aware now. Yesterday, I actually missed that second half of the Vikings game. I was like, you know what? Kirk Cousins is blowing it. I'll go to the Christmas tree farm. Went to a Christmas tree farm, rode the train with the kids and my wife. Had a good time. Had a giant Polish corn dog.
Really good.
That sounds really
good.
Yeah.
And then the potato spiral fries, what I'm talking about, when they spiral the potato.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put a picture on Twitter. It was really good. And I caught the last 5 minutes of the Minnesota Vikings game. So that was unbelievable. I was sending out the primetime Kirk Cousins tweets, and all some people are like, you moron, they're back in the game, and like, I don't, but that, and then I watched the Fresno State game. Saw a little bit of the Browns Ravens game. That stuff's getting hard to watch though. Anytime the Browns are playing, it's becoming to be like hard.
It was
to watch.
more
Like
exciting.
Broncos.
It was more excited with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, and then Ravens are no fun to watch too now. And then but that was about my weekend. Had a good time. Christmas tree farm is always fun, especially that little train. I love that thing.
Yep.
But yeah, let's get back into this weekend recap here. We'll finally start this thing off. Biggest comeback ever, NFL history. That was kind of cool seeing that.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, the primetime game. I was like, here we go again with the pick six, the block punt, and then
Does he has the top 3 comebacks, right? He has the Commanders, which they're called now, and then the Patriots against the Falcons, and then the
Matt Ryan, you mean, is part of 2 of them.
Yeah, but I think Kirk Cousins, the being down like 25-0, I think was like at the time the largest deficit coming back.
Oh, mate.
And now he has it again.
The Bills had that one in playoffs versus the Dolphins.
I could be wrong. I thought I this is like social media news, so I could be totally wrong. But yeah, that's what I thought I had read.
But no, that was a wild game. Dalvin Cook, KJ Osborne going off. Poor Matt Ryan. You got to feel a bit bad for him at this point. How they then Patrick Peterson going to the offense and saying, we just need 5 touchdowns. We're going to get a couple stops. I'm like, I think if someone tells me that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, what did he say? It's like, it's kind of cute that he did that, but we really didn't think that was going to happen.
But
I need to find, here it is. Prior to today, the last team to overcome a deficit of 24 points to win a regular season game was Washington in Week 7, 2015 versus the Bucks. That's the Kirk Cousin. You like that game. So,
okay.
So yeah, that's the so I guess he has top probably 3 now. Oh, regular season. So he has top 2 regular season, I think.
Did you see what the suit he wore after the game, Jordan?
I did not.
He has a suit, and it's just all Minnesota. It's a purple suit with just the Vikings logo everywhere. And someone said, what suit would you have wore if you guys would have lost that game? And he said, this is just the outfit my wife laid out for me, so I had to wear it.
Yeah, I don't think they would have even had the willingness to go out there really in the second half as Zimmer was still the coach.
Well, I was seeing stuff on Twitter like, is it even necessary to play people in the second half? Like, this game's over. Like, just keep your guys healthy.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for nothing for fantasy season.
Did the Vikings score a couple early in that touchdown? In the
I
second half?
believe it was 33-0 with like 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Like,
no, the third quarter the Vikings had 14 points. They went on a 22 point run in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 33-0 at half.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Trent, they scored a touchdown early, like 8 minutes. I guess not early, but
Yeah, what was it?
36-14.
What are you in the first half, Jordan?
No, in the third quarter, I mean.
Yeah,
So they scored a touchdown decently early in the third quarter with 8 minutes left. Probably their first drive. So then it's like, okay, then it's 33-7. Man, they scored 3 touchdowns. That is insane.
Yeah.
3 unanswered touchdowns.
4.
Yeah, you're right. 4. Wild. Wow. They scored 3 points in the
And then the
second
crazy
half.
thing is that game almost went to a tie.
Yeah, it almost went to a tie. Like, I thought it was crazy when they didn't go for the field goal in overtime and they punted.
They punted, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, ugh.
You know, when do we start thinking of? I know Justin Jefferson probably doesn't, without the touchdowns, probably doesn't like get close. But when do we include him in like MVP conversations? Because I mean, he has 1,600 yards.
It's just not happening with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, it's not happening with Jalen Hurts. But I mean, Mahomes also had an insane game today too. He had 6 incompletions and threw for over 300 yards.
You're right, though, Seth. He does belong in the conversation. Like,
At least in the top 5, right? If not top 3, because I mean, 1,600 yards. I mean, he's that whole team.
yeah.
If
Yeah,
they
you're
don't
right.
have that player, their record is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know, it's
name
just-
other guys. Jalen Hurts.
It's Jalen Hurts and
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes are 2. I mean, we can
But
look
you're
at
right.
the odds
But
right
top
now.
3. Definitely top 3.
He's got to be up there. I mean, obviously, if QB play isn't as good, I mean,
I have a bet on Jalen Hurts to win MVP at 9-1 from earlier in the year. So like I'm
Okay.
I think
rooting
if
hard
you're
for
excited
Hurts,
about that one,
but
yeah.
like
I don't know if this is updated right now, like on Sleeper, but as of whenever they updated this, he was number 4 overall PPR. I don't know if that has added up his points from yesterday yet, where everyone else is.
Oh, until it closes out
I don't know if
completely.
it has
Yeah,
to
yeah,
close or
yeah.
not, but he's number 1 wide receiver in PPR and standard, 17 overall standard, number 4 overall. He could be higher. I don't know if that's in there yet.
I mean, obviously, if he has more touchdowns, then I think what does he have, 6 or 7 or something? If he has more, like if he has like Devontae Adams level touchdowns with that many yards, I think maybe it'd be more in the conversation.
That's the problem is there's not enough touchdowns because his touchdowns on the season, he only has
7 or 6, I believe.
Yeah,
Here,
he
I
only
was
has
gonna
7
try-
TDs. They're not going to give it to a receiver with that many.
Yeah,
that
but I mean,
few
it's
amount of
possible he
TDs.
breaks that season record. Obviously, right? We're at week 16 next week, and I think he needs. I think I saw a post saying he needs 356 that was after week 14. So I mean, what did he have this week? 122. So if he has another, 200 plus career game, he can break it in 16 games.
Yeah. Well, they didn't give it to Adrian Peterson when he was like 2 yards from the rushing record. Remember when he thought he had it and he didn't have it? Like, it's just so hard for them to not give it to a quarterback.
Will he win offensive player of the year like Cooper Kupp did?
Probably.
Right? Or will they give that to Mahomes if Hurts wins MVP?
Maybe. I don't know.
I would love to see him get it and not see Mahomes get it. Not because I don't know.
I'm all about new stuff, and I always lean towards the non-quarterback player getting like the Heisman
Yeah,
or
for sure.
the MVP.
Because it's a lot
just
more
not-
rare. Obviously, Mahomes can easily replicate these. Not easily. He can replicate these numbers next year.
So-
And I wouldn't blink an eye if he did.
So Seth, I'm looking at him right now. Jalen Hurts minus 154 favorite. Patrick Mahomes plus 155. Josh Allen plus 1,000. Joe Burrow plus 1,000. And then Justin Jefferson plus 12,500.
So top 5. He's top 5.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
yes.
Basically,
they're even considering
it's
the
Mahomes
other.
and Hurts. It's Mahomes and Hurts. It's the
Yeah,
only.
they
and
consider the other QBs over him. Is what they're
Yes.
saying too.
And if the Eagles win out, there's no way Hurts is not winning the MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. But what's something crazy is if they beat the Cowboys next week, they clinch that number 1 spot. So I'm like, I have Hurts in a lot of leagues, and I'm nervous that he might not even play week
like
17.
if they lose, you're
Like,
going to lose. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying if they
win,
if
he's
they
done.
win, I'm like he might not play week 17
Yeah, but they can't sit
or
him-
week 18.
They can't sit him 2 weeks in a row, and they're
I-
gonna
I
have
don't
a
think-
bye.
I don't think
and
so
they'll have
either.
a bye, so they can't sit him 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's probably not enough game time or not enough time.
He'll for
playing.
sure play week 17. They might even play him a little bit week 18 if they have a bye the following week, because you don't want to sit 2 weeks before playing.
Yeah. Let's go over to the snowball game. We got the Bills game.
I'm gonna pull up a video for that.
Versus the Dolphins. They had to actually. So how did this started? The guy scored a touchdown. They had a snowball fight. Then all the fans start throwing snowballs, and then they stopped the game due to the snowballs.
It's because they started throwing it at the Miami players.
Then they said there was going to be
like during the touchdown
Did you see the bleachers though? There was tons of snow.
There was a couple shirtless people as always.
Ryan Fitzpatrick was not one of them. Phil,
was
I
not.
don't think. But yeah, they were implementing 15-yard penalties if any Dolphins players got hit with snowballs.
That's almost incentivizing it,
guys.
That's incentivizing it, in my opinion.
I would love to have an NFL penalty on my resume.
Oh, absolutely.
Why should we hire you? Well, I did this, and this, and I actually got a 15-yard penalty.
And I actually got arrested
in an NFL game once. Oh, you played? No, I hit a guy with a snowball.
Like this video's hilarious.
And I was like 30 rows up.
Yeah, I got a cannon here. It might not look like it, but yeah, you hand me a snowball and I become Buddy the Elf.
Imagine if you would have got like a player on like in the middle of a play.
Tyreek Hill gets hit in the back of the head with a snowball after he misses a touchdown, and then a cameraman gets hit in the back. So someone else hits the cameraman. He caught a stray. That's hilarious. I haven't seen this one either.
I honestly think that's an incentive. I mean, it was a close game, but like
these people in Buffalo though, they like die for the Bills though. So like they
dive through tables.
Yeah,
man. Like these guys are crazy.
Well, how much snow do you think they shoveled out of their driveway to get to the game yesterday?
Yeah,
you're right.
A lot.
Yeah,
they probably had to shovel snow for days.
Yeah, a lot of salt.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would imagine a lot of salt. Maybe some torching. I've seen people torch, right? Yeah. Don't they do that?
Only on video. Like we are probably the worst podcast to go to for like snow advice. You know, like I've had to put chains on one time, and it took me a while. Like,
yeah, no. Would you throw that into your diva? Like when you said you like people who don't know how to back up a truck.
I probably should. Like East Coast people and Midwest people are like, "How's the guy not know how to put chains on his car?" Well, it doesn't snow here. Like we're like.
Yeah.
High 30s tonight, but there's no chance of snow. Like we get some freezes, but like, yeah, it's like,
yeah, no,
I did it, but
yeah, it's only snowed once my entire life here.
Yeah, first grade.
Yep.
It
was wild.
Yep.
Seth might not have even been alive.
I was not alive.
Yeah, wild. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was in 4th grade. Yeah. Just throwing snowballs.
You were like I think you were in 2nd grade, right? I think I was in kindergarten.
Yes, I was in 2nd grade. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's logically how grades go, along with age. Anyhow, yeah, that's just so you would throw that in your trailer backing up.
Probably deserves to be in there. It probably.
Yeah. I've never. Have you, Jordan?
Sometimes you gotta take the plank out.
I've never had to use chains. I always have 4-wheel drive, and I'm good.
Yep.
All right. Well, big shot back there. Let's go over the Sunday morning slate. Did we have 3?
We don't want to say anything about the Seahawks Niners game?
No.
I will say, Seth, though, I was like felt a little bit better because I think you said that they were going to lose by double digits.
I did.
So I felt a little bit better about it. You know what I'm saying?
You're like,
You still made the right choice by taking the Niners.
Did.
I went with my heart, and that was a mistake.
I'm just glad Jordan didn't pick the Jags to win.
Yes.
That makes me happy.
I could care less.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But
That was unfortunate because these guys are just like, just absolutely riding me in the group text, just making fun of me like, oh, look at the Cowboys, they're going to lose this one. And then Micah Parsons gets the fumble recovery, and I just put LOL, Parsons has a motor, and I call Phil just dying laughing. I'm like, oh, shoot, they got the ball.
What exactly happened was he put, ha ha.
No, he went, haha, wild game. like he called game. Which, like, honestly, how many times, if you're with Trent, that's another one of Trent's poor qualities. He calls game way too early, way too often. Do you know what I'm saying? Have you guys experienced that? I've been at least 3 games with Trent where he's called game, and it just doesn't go that way.
The best part, that's at 12:50 or 12:59 Pacific time. He puts 12:50, ha ha. 50 minutes later, I put ha ha Trent. Jaguars won the game.
like I don't even know.
I think they went to overtime. And I put ha ha Trent.
Like that's not even Dak Prescott's fault. Like that's Noah Brown's fault, right? Or is that CD?
I think
it was tipped, and
I don't even know if that. I don't even think that's stats.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't his fault. It was a bad tip.
Should we get into divas here while we're in the middle of this recap? Let's just do Let's get divas out. Today's divas are brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. You pick 2 to 6 players, and they will match you up to $100. Just insert the promo code dudes. Really helps us out. I had a nice little Prize Picks weekend with some NHL. NFL was not too bad. I'm positive on the weekend. I'm up. Up triple digits. We'll just leave it at there over the weekend. So nice little Prize Picks weekend. Jordan, your Prize Picks okay?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't really done a ton of. Just been busy, It's just a lot. Like it's hard. It's a lot going on, and I'll probably definitely over the Christmas time definitely dive back into the Prize Picks a little bit. I've been using their promos and stuff, throwing things in, every once in a while. But
so Phil, you have a diva of the week you want to throw on here? You want to? I think you mentioned it to me earlier today.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know. I mentioned a couple. One thing that I'll say, though, is someone said this to me today, and I thought it was pretty good. And I'm not going to use it because I haven't thought about it enough, and it doesn't make me as mad. Or not that it makes me mad. It's just I don't have enough to really go off it. But I thought this was a good one. In white elephant gift exchanges or just gift exchanges in general, people who steal the gift that they brought.
That is really bad. I've seen that happen.
That's not my diva, just for what it's worth. But I thought I would give a shout out. I would give a shout out.
That's a great diva, though.
Shout out to the people who gave that to me.
Let me one up you there. I hate doing this to you. What about?
And that's a good one. I agreed with it. I'm like, that's actually a great point.
Someone at a cousin that's married, and their mom bought them their white elephant gifts because they didn't have time.
Okay, so the mother of your cousin bought them the white elephant.
How old is your cousin?
So your aunt.
He's married.
Your aunt.
Yeah. So my aunt.
So an adult, a grown adult,
married.
Your aunt bought your cousin's gift
to bring to the white elephant gift exchange.
Okay. Yeah, just want to make sure I was understanding.
My cousin said, "Hey, my mom bought a good gift," and stole his gift that he brought to that his mom got for him.
There's a diva on multiple levels for this person.
Wait, you talking about that happened last year or this year?
Last year.
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
On multiple levels, there's diva to this.
Exactly.
You're an adult. Your mom shouldn't be buying your gift.
Exactly. Yeah.
That mom probably fills up their tank with gas too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Can I borrow your car? Can I borrow your car so I can fill it up with gas?
Did you say pay off my credit card?
Credit card bill.
Hey, you forgot to pay your credit card bill again.
Hey, I'm looking at my electric bill. It's like $50 more than I'm used to. Can you Venmo me $50?
Jordan, do you have a?
Oh wait, that was not. I mean, no, we can just use that. We can just use that.
No, use
I don't think I'm as creative though. I don't think I'm as creative.
You told me you were going to have one earlier.
No, I don't.
Tell me the one you told me today.
The group chat?
Yeah.
Okay. So going back to that group chat, what did Trent do after?
Oh yeah, that's a big diva move right
That's
there.
a big diva move, right? He
left the group chat.
He left the group chat. So Trent,
I never saw Jordan's ha.
You did though because you left after I said that.
Oh, okay.
So how about people who are in a group chat just, running their mouth, getting all wild, and then the tide turns and then they just dip out of the group chat? Have you had people do that?
Trent's the first.
Trent is the first. Seth,
I've seen people do that.
You've seen people do it? And
I actually have seen other people do it.
But usually we kick them out before then.
So I don't even understand. I've seen
this
it.
This is our podcast group text. It's kind of important for the pod.
Yeah.
For the record, how long were you gone for though? 20 minutes?
No, it was probably less than, it was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was just rolling when I saw that he left. But that was obviously a joke.
Rolling on the couch. Breaking chips.
Crunching. Anyhow, that would be my idea. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen type people. But in a much different way. You can't just do that. Talk a bunch of trash. Trent called game and then literally dipped before you had a chance to glow.
Sometimes,
and I'm not saying just Trent. I'm just saying people in general who do that. You know what I'm saying?
People who leave group chats. Hey, sometimes the only thing to do is retreat.
Yeah, there's only a handful.
I'm not proud saying it.
There's only a handful of times when you can leave a group chat, and it's maybe you have a bad breakup with your girlfriend, and you had to talk, text her father-in-law, your potential soon-to-be father-in-law and mother-in-law before, just leave that group chat. That's okay. I would understand that. You know what I'm saying? But there's not really any other points in life when you have to leave a group chat. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I don't know.
Jordan, do you have a diva?
I'll be honest. I don't really have.
Okay. No,
I don't have a diva this week.
Seth, you got anything here? You got anything for me?
Man, that happened again this week. I'll have a diva, but that did happen again where someone took their own gift from the White Elephant Exchange and ended the game. And
That
they were
is
the last
messed up.
one,
and they were mad they got it because their wife brought the gift.
and the wife made them pick it.
Yes.
It was the end of the game, and I was like, no, steal another one, keep the game
that should
going.
not have been allowed.
Keep the game going.
People who
don't
end White
pick
Elephant.
your own gift to end the game.
People who end White Elephant, Divas of the Week. I love White Elephant. Keep stealing.
There should
Whatever
be a
it is,
minimum
make
time.
Sure you do
You
not
know that
end
gift in the
minimum
middle
time.
is a garbage gift, and guess what it ended up being? It ended up being garlic salt. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
want garlic
it's
salt?
I bought that, and we need to bring it. You know what I mean? Like I brought it because we didn't have a gift, so you need to pick that gift.
It's pretty dumb, but I think there needs to be a minimum time on White Elephant gift exchanges. Like the more fun you have, like put it at like depending on the amount of people, you should adjust the time because I don't think if you go through it too quickly and then the game's over, that's not fun either. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Like there needs to be like, if you have 10 people, all right, we need to have like a 30-minute timer. You get what I'm saying?
But people who end White Elephants are my diva.
yeah.
Like,
a
maybe
good
I should
one.
do-
Keep
Good one.
stealing until you can't do it
Dude,
anymore.
yeah.
Or if it like all the other presents are like they're gone, like then don't like
Because
don't-
most presents shouldn't be good, right? And so
I
it's
mean,
more fun.
They should be
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
I would say like if we're gonna keep a White Elephant, like divas who like they just look in their like they bring the garlic salt, for example. Like everyone else brings like decent stuff, and then you bring like
His wife told him, "Get that gift. We need it." They brought it. The only reason you
should have bought an extra
Was
one
that
when
like
you were
from
in the
their
store.
Walmart pickup or
yeah,
what?
yeah. But here's the deal, okay? The only
Dox 'em.
acceptable
Who is
reason.
Don't
Its
do
name
not
rhymes
no.
with the only acceptable reason to end a White Elephant gift is if there is something absolutely legit out there that you need. But if it's like, hey, I'm just going to throw this in my garage or my cubby or my pantry, no, don't end the game. Keep it going. Let the fun flow. But if
Yes.
there's something like, if there's like, hey, a $50 gift card or $20 gift card, if there's something good out there that you want to lock up and steal, by all means, in the game. But don't grab that last present. Don't do it.
We should have written like a White Elephant gift etiquette thing for all of our listeners. Like
That
we
might
could
be a
probably
good email for next year.
Yeah,
White
but
Elephant etiquette.
We could come up with a lot of things. There's a bunch of different things. I think it's Seth. You actually had a good point. Like the gift that you bring shouldn't be all bad. And if it's really bad, if it's bad, it needs to just be like on the worst end of the spectrum, so it's funny. Do you get what I'm saying a little
Yes.
bit?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
it can't just be like mildly sucky. It needs to either be awful, terrible, or decent. Would you agree to
I
that?
agree, 100%.
So if we're still talking about this, we can end it after this. But I'm doing a White Elephant with my family in a couple days, and I always love this one
do you
because
get along with them?
I always yes I do.
Okay.
So I always
Most of them.
Actually, after the game, no. But I love this one because my cousin and he has two kids. They all bring their own white elephants, right? So there's 4 of them. So they all bring 4 so the kids can play.
Yeah.
If the kids got something good, I love stealing it from them because they get so mad.
This guy's a White Elephant diva.
They get so mad and they like almost let you don't steal it. And I'm like, nope, this is a game, man. Like, sorry. I want that. You don't want all that chocolate. I want it.
Yeah.
I thought we had the Grinch here. Like,
So Seth just wants to make people cry, basically.
No, but it is very entertaining. Everyone is laughing hard. And it's going to happen, and I can't wait.
And you're hoping that they probably get like the best gift too.
Oh, they usually do. Because
Yeah.
their parents are like, that's a good one. And I'm like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
going to
I'm
take
gonna
it. I'm
steal
going
it.
to take it when it's my turn.
let's get back into our NFL recap here. Sunday morning, do we have 3 overtime games this morning? Was it 3 total? Or maybe it was,
It was
3 over the weekend, right?
maybe it was over the weekend.
Because
The Raiders game
Vikings-
doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The Raiders game didn't go into overtime.
Yeah.
because they
So I think I
clearly
believe
that
it
would not
was
be overtime.
I believe it was
Vikings-
2.
no Vikings went the Chiefs Texans
Cowboys, Jags.
Cowboys
So
Jags
3.
so 3 over the weekend. Yeah,
All right.
I mean I called that Chiefs Texans game, didn't I say
You
that?
did.
Yeah.
The Texans are kind of like, I don't.
They're like lukewarm milk. Like you're a little bit, you're afraid to drink it, but if that's all there is, and you're making coffee, you might.
The
use it.
Texans almost need to like change their name to like the Alamo Defenders.
Getting close
Just
and then
because
dying.
it's Texas, just Texas related, because they aren't going to beat you. but they're going to put up a fight for 60 minutes, and they're going to make you really scared. Like, they're
Yeah.
playing teams really tough. I don't want to play, like, I wouldn't want to play the Texans again. Like, the Jags got to play the Texans pretty soon here, Jordan. Maybe they just light them up, but they've been playing everyone really tough. Like, you got a lot of guys out there that
Well, they're playing with nothing to lose. And when you play
Absolutely.
with nothing to lose, like there's nothing that can stop you for them,
It's true.
except for the score. You know,
except for the score.
So the Jaguars have Jets, Texans, Titans left on their schedule.
That's a tough, like,
they
those are
can
all
really
division
ruin
games.
some playoff.
You think
dreams.
it's tough? Like I would take that. Like if you told me we have to win those 3 games, get to the
Oh,
playoffs,
Yeah.
I would take that in a heartbeat. Like
But like none of those teams are like walks in the park by any means, even though their records are like Texans are like their record looks like a walk in the park, but they've kind of gone toe to toe with the Chiefs.
no, I
Cowboys.
get that, but at the same time, it's like I still don't mind that schedule.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
Like
Yeah. Jets are pretty tough. Like,
it is on the road at New York, at Houston. So like we'll see. But like Jaguars had them this week's Thursday night, Jets Jaguars. So
and Jets probably won't have probably will have Zach Wilson again.
yeah, probably.
Because
You don't
White's day to day with his ribs, so it's just like short week rib injury.
Zach Wilson actually looked okay.
He played okay.
played all right.
I
Like,
think he threw for 300 yards.
was it 300?
It might be 2 something, but I think he threw for maybe 300.
Trent, to your point though about the Texans and the Jaguars, I think the difference there is that when the Jaguars Texans play, the Jaguars will be playing for something.
That's true, and
I
the
think
Texans
the Chiefs,
aren't.
but I think the Chiefs are kind of just like sleepwalking through these games right now.
Yeah, and it was a trap game again. Like
And the Texans had the Cowboys the week before.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah. Well, are you worried about the Cowboys? Serious question.
they're that corner entry. Who's our corner? We lost our other corner. I believe it was Brown. We have we need some corner help. Like you can tell we're down to like our third string corner on one side. So we lost our safety, which what's his name? The safety Bland from Fresno State.
Bland's a corner.
Oh, I thought he's been playing a little bit
He's
safety
nickel.
too.
He's been your nickel.
yeah.
He may bump over.
But what I'm saying is like we got Bland, and that's a backup, and then we had
Bland got hurt?
no, not Bland, but Bland's not a starter. Like
No.
he's only starting because of injury. Then we lost, I believe it's not Noah Brown.
Goodwin.
I'm glad you know all the
No, you
people
didn't
on your
lose
own
good
team.
I don't
Trent.
watch that much defense anymore. That's the problem because I just watch Red Zone. But we're down to like our fourth string corner over there, so it's like the opposite side of Diggs. It's nobody, and you can tell like. I don't think they were throwing on Diggs' side that much. Like it's Wilson or something over there.
Yes.
But like we are a corner away that our defense, you can tell the last couple of weeks, like they're hurting and they got to get that figured out. in
Well,
the
why didn't
secondary to
they
make a
do
run.
anything about that? They had like, why haven't they? They had like 3 weeks where they could have done something. When did he get hurt?
Oh, he got hurt.
Last week.
It was
2
like
weeks-
last
2
week.
weeks
It
ago.
might have been Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah.
So they're kind of
okay.
getting injuries
So-
at some bad time
yeah,
at the
bad
bad
time.
times.
Yeah.
And Van Der Esch is hurt.
Van Der Esch is hurt too. Like, but
Isn't he always hurt?
he's
I think
always
this
hurt.
time it's a worse neck injury though, isn't it? He left the game.
Maybe so, yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But yeah, secondary is what worries me the most. So yeah, I am a little bit worried. And Dak seems to be turning the ball over just too much. And it seems like we can kind of run the ball. Tyron Smith, I think he was able to play today. I don't know if he was actually in there too much though. So that will help the offensive line. But yeah, I am a little worried with how they're finishing the season up here right now. So the defense has showed moments, like in that Colts game. But it's the Colts, right? They did to the Colts what they should have done to the Texans and maybe even the Jags, people might have thought. But they have not looked that good since that game. Like, I was happy to even just get the win versus Houston. So it looks like hopefully Dan Quinn can figure it out and they can tighten some things up. But yeah, I am a little bit worried. But Jordan, is this like a top 5 day of your life? Jags beat the Cowboys, biggest win in franchise
No,
history.
it's not. Trent, you're forgetting 2017, man. We were really good in 2017. So
Bortles, right?
yeah, that year with that defense, that was legit. So
That was a man. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. They could have been if Urban Meyer wouldn't have been there last year. It could have been a much different team this
yeah,
year.
I will say Trevor Lawrence is starting. He's
He
starting to
looks
get
good.
excite you as a Jaguar fan a little bit because he's starting to finally look like that guy that everyone thought he would be out at Clemson. Like
That
the
fumble
next,
was such a bummer.
Well, yeah, but he's trying to make a play. Like it's a great play, but then he comes back and it doesn't bother him, and he just
You're right.
he threw a pick for the first time since October today. So he's just been playing really, really well.
Well, and just to talk about the Cowboys' corner problems, it doesn't surprise me that like Trevor Lawrence threw all over us, but like, and even this like a little bit, but Zay Jones was wide receiver 1 over the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know Zay can put up like good games, but him to get 31 fantasy points, 3 touchdown catches, it's like, okay, like that. They definitely saw a weak spot with their number 2
Was
and 3
Diggs
receiver.
playing more on Kirk?
I believe Diggs was playing more on Kurt. Yeah.
Also, one thing to bring up, last thing about the Jaguars is Jordan brought this up before the pod, but Calvin Ridley possibly playing on the Jaguars next year. I mean, I know they traded for him, right? Like, that's a big deal.
He will be there next year.
Yeah, he will be, right? That's a
Yeah.
big deal, too, for their team.
For the future.
If he can be available, it'll be a really good thing because he wasn't even available
Yeah. I mean,
last
yeah.
year or
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
But I think that's enough about that game. What about we kind of talked about the Texans Chiefs a little bit. Jerick McKinnon, is that guy going to be like a
League winner.
league winner? He is the perfect running back for Patrick Mahomes' offense. Like, he's kind of like, remember a couple of years ago, everyone said like, hey, this guy needs to be first round draft pick in fantasy football leagues on the 49ers. Like, there was a lot of hype about him.
Yeah.
And then he tore his ACL that like maybe the first week of the season training camp. He's finally looking like that guy. He's catching passes, back-to-back 2 touchdown games. Like, he's looking really good, maybe a league winner, but let's go ahead and I don't know
We
if
want to talk about that Lions-Jets game. We talked about it a little bit already.
Lions 6 of the last 7.
Do you think they make the
They're
playoffs?
clawing their way to playoffs.
Yeah, that game was crazy, that finish. And then, I don't know, the Raiders-Patriots game may take the cake for the crazy finish.
When I saw that, I I want to say if I had something in my mouth, I think I would have spit it everywhere. I was like in shock.
I had my wife's uncles over who are Raiders fans, and they were going crazy.
Like, why did the Patriots do that when it's a tie game? It doesn't make any sense.
It's non-Belichick
You
to do something like that,
do
right?
stuff like that when you're up or down, right?
And when you're down, if you're like losing and you're like, okay.
Yeah, because then it doesn't matter. You have to. But like when it's a tie game, right? Like it doesn't make
It's
don't
not.
know.
It's not Belichick, right? Like you can't see him.
No,
like
it's not on him.
that's what I'm saying. Like
He said it wasn't in the game plan.
that's what I
Myers-
think. I think they just
players
did
just did it
it. They
themselves.
just did it.
And then Mac Jones just getting trucked is awesome.
That was
I'm
such
seeing,
mean
I'm
stiff
seeing a
arm.
bunch of people saying like this is all on Mac Jones, and it's definitely not.
What a terrible position to be. Like, I saw that and I looked at my wife's uncle and I'm like, who's he throwing the ball to? He's like, the quarterback. And I'm like,
Why?
that was just straight to Chandler Jones.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That was not.
And Chandler Jones, like he was so far back too. He's just like, what? Okay.
It's like Mac Jones took the fetal position and just took the stiff arm to the face. That's what it looks like.
Oh, for sure.
So Raiders are still in it. They got a
yeah,
slight outside
mathematically
shot.
possible.
So you're saying there's a chance. There's a better chance. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, we
Yeah,
probably
that's got to be tough though because the Jets.
Yeah, it's a wild picture, but like Jets are still in it, Jags are still in it, Raiders are still in it. They need a couple things to happen, like if the Dolphins lost.
I
or
don't
something.
know. I
Like,
think
it's a long shot, but there is a shot.
Jordan, what do you think?
To say absolutely no chance, but there is
The Raiders?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no chance.
mathematically there's
Well,
a chance.
mathematically, but mathematically there's a lot chance for a lot of things that it doesn't happen.
So they have Steelers, Niners, and Chiefs. So
That's tough.
that's a rough. That's like the Steelers fine.
That's a meat grinder for
Yeah,
the
but
last
the
few
Niners,
weeks.
the Niners and Chiefs. That's rough.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a lot of other ones they should have won. Darren Waller just absolute, winning you your constellation fantasy football playoffs. Like, shout out Darren Waller.
Believe it or not, I picked him up on waivers a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna probably put in a giant bid for him this week in my other one because people dropped him.
What is his roster percentage actually? Now that
It was
you
low
say it?
after he got put on IR. I'm pretty sure a lot of people dropped him. But I'm
pull it
picking him up
here.
in two
He's
leagues where it's both 12 man.
66%. He's 66% rostered. That's
So I would
definitely-
say pick him up. I mean, he scored a
Absolutely.
touchdown, but
Yeah, ready to be hurt again. All right. Whether you hate the people in your life or love them, you should tell them about the dudes. We bring people together. The highest compliment our dudes can give us is a referral of their family and friends. Just remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Also, sign up for our dudes letter. We'll have some more waivers in there on Tuesday, and we'll have dad moves on Thursday. Before we, recap our starts and sits, just go ahead and give the dudes a little Christmas present. Scroll on the bottom, give us a 5-star rating and review. Doesn't take long. It's really just the goodness of your heart. If we have made you laugh, made you cry, won you a league, maybe lost your brother-in-law a league, maybe you shared him with us, to maybe jack up his lineup. I don't know, but really
Maybe,
give us that
yeah.
rating or review really helps us out. Maybe, we're a sabotage podcast. I don't know.
Or we gave you the courage to talk to that significant other that you've been waiting to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we did do that.
If you're looking at us and you're like, wow, those 3 guys are married, like I could definitely do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
I'm so glad no one can see me.
So yeah, because after this week starts and sits of what I had, maybe it was. I had Matt Ryan as a start, and I was like, oh shoot, like this game script is not Matt Ryan for him to put up fantasy points. And it got to the point. I almost feel like the Colts just kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. Like he only had like 11.5 fantasy points, so definitely a dud, not a good play. I played him over Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't. I don't know. Tom Brady had
Tom
like
Brady
17
had
points.
be pretty decent.
Yeah, good first half at least. But Matt Ryan was not good. Michael Gallup actually had the game script to get it done today for Dallas, but they gave all those targets to Noah Brown. Noah Brown had a good game. He had 2 touchdown passes, I believe, catches.
He did.
Jordan, you want to go to your recap of your starts of the week?
Yeah, I had Michael Pittman was just fine. I mean, he had 14 points and half-point PPR. I mean,
In PPR, he actually had a really good
10
game.
catches, 60 yards on 14 targets. Like, that's 14 targets is awesome. So
Yeah, it is.
And then my other one was, Zonovan Knight.
I feel like you might be part of this. Like, I don't know if it's like... I feel like it was a really good matchup, but I feel like you also, like... I saw a lot of people wanted Zonovan Knight to play, but I feel like you had him on your roster, so you were like almost like trying.
No, I had nothing to do with that,
I
to
thought
be
you were trying to
honest.
will it in. Okay,
He was trying to help you out right there.
No,
think,
Man, that's brutal.
that's brutal. Like Zonovan Knight, but hey, you had one good start. I had Travis Etienne as a start, and what did he finish with? Did he
as a
get
Yeah,
sit,
as a
points?
sit.
as sit.
I had him
He's
as a sit.
He's right around 11 points, 10.7.
So no, that doesn't cut it. That's not good enough. You had 11.7, Phil. That's what
Yeah,
you had.
10.7, I think
10.7,
is what I said. Yeah, I was looking up the next one.
and then my other sit,
Amonra.
St. Brown, which we had an
Egg bet on,
that.
and
What
I'm
was-
pretty sure I lost.
What were the points on it though, Seth?
I think we said it was either 14 or 12, and if I'm looking at it on half-point PPR, right?
yeah, he had
He
11.7.
had 11.7, so I'll
Seth-
take the L on that
Seth
one.
has lost his first egg bet. My sit maybe not have been right because we do the 10.5 on that, but Seth has lost his first egg bet.
So we got to see. Let's clap it up.
What
for
was the actual bet? It was
It
what?
was 14 points, I believe.
Monroe would score more than 14 because I said he
Because he was projected like 13.66
Yeah.
or
So I said I had him as a sit, and then Seth at the end on the recap said that's a really dumb sit. I'll egg bet you on it, and then basically said like you're a moron and a bunch of other hurtful stuff after the pod. But joke's on you, Seth.
We couldn't record what he
We
was
couldn't
saying.
record. We actually had
Yeah.
to edit it out. But no, that's not true. Jordan, your sits you had Tampa running backs.
Yeah, so Fournette ended up with like 9.4 points in half point. He would have been another like 2 points in full point PPR. And then Rashad White had 5 points in half point. So I kind of think I was on the right track with
Yeah,
those
for
two.
sure. I
Yeah.
would give you those.
And then my other sit was Marquise Brown. He had 3.9 points in half point PPR.
What a weird game. I
4
know-
catches and 19 yards. Like
we talked about it, but they ended up like Trace McSwirly was playing in that.
McSorley.
McSorley.
It's not a swirly or McSwirly.
Well, if you're a Cardinals fan, you probably would have rather gotten a Swirly than have.
So
that
did
guy
they just
there.
pull Colt? I didn't see what happened.
he got
He got
hurt.
concussion.
Oh, I actually like McSorley. I actually don't think. I mean,
That's a down bad franchise right now.
Poverty franchise.
he was decent at the Ravens. I liked seeing him run a little
I
bit.
did. I like
He
it.
also fits the Ravens. I guess
Mold.
he fits the Cardinals too a little
He
bit.
does, yeah.
With Kyler, not Colt McCoy. But
No, definitely not. Colt McCoy does. I think Colt
Yeah.
McCoy doesn't fit the mold of the
Yeah.
Cardinals. Yeah, that's surprising. So I would imagine McSorley starting next week.
We'll see.
Yeah, depending on
There's a good chance.
because Kyler's out, done for a year.
Yeah, ACL.
ACL.
and that's gonna be a major part of next year, maybe too.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
Because it's a
Shot.
late season, yeah.
it's terrible for them. But I don't know. Maybe they'll. Who knows what they end up doing with all that? That's a bad franchise right now.
Just picked up a big contract. Like,
Yeah, Phil, what do you want to do? Phil, give us our top QB dudes and duds here while we got a second.
yeah, while we're here on the QB, So we got, and you guys can let me know. I'm on the dudes, the list here. So let me go through here. Jalen Hurts with 36.7, Kirk Cousins with 34.4, Josh Allen with 33.9, Patrick Mahomes with 31.7, and T-Law with 26.8. So big day there for all of Jordy's boys. And
Burrow at 24.8.
24.8 for Burrow. I usually stop at 5, but I'm okay going a little bit farther if you'd like. Justin Fields, I actually didn't. I stopped watching the end of that one. Did he come out for good, or what ended up happening?
He
No,
came back in.
He
He came back in. Okay, cool. So then, just getting into some duds there, a little bit. We have, I mean, how far do we want to go with this? You know what I'm saying? Like
Geno Smith.
Geno
dud.
Smith, dud. I'm trying to
Herbert dud.
Herbert
huge
dud.
dud.
Herbert is at. Did he even hit his prize picks prop that
I
they
don't
dropped
know,
down
but
6%? Like, I don't.
I played so much of Herbert on in DFS, and man, it was rough.
Herbert's been rough this whole season. Like, it's just been.
He threw for 313 yards, just no touchdowns.
Okay, he did hit his play then, but yeah, it's just been a weird Herbert season.
Such a good spot for him
Yeah,
too.
QB 23 on the week for Justin Herbert. That's somebody you probably drafted in the 3rd or 4th round, maybe 5th if you were lucky.
Yeah.
I got to give you a little bit of props, Trent. I think like he's got that whole Charger situation is weird, right?
Yeah, but like Taylor Heineke, Ryan Tannehill, Sam Darnold, Mitch Trubisky, Andy Dalton,
For those guys, I
Brock
weren't throwing.
Purdy,
I
all
wasn't.
played better, had more fantasy points than Justin Herbert.
Yes, for sure.
Davis Mills. Did you
Yeah.
say
Davis Mills. He was number 11. Just
And
for
he'd
what it's
even
worth.
play 100% of the snaps. Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Some other duds, I got Jared Goff. Not like he had a good game, but like not a good fantasy performance, right? Like,
But
I think we knew that coming in with the
expected that,
Jets.
though.
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I made that egg bet with Seth and made him my sit of the week. Watson, maybe just.
I don't even know if he deserves to be on this list.
I know, that's what I'm kind of.
That's what we should expect out of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he had a great game actually. No, I'll get into the running backs here. So Jerick McKinnon back-to-back RB1s on the week. He had another 2 touchdown game, like I said, in that 2-point conversion, which is a nice little bonus. 8 catches for 70 yards. Dalvin Cook RB2 really helped out your team that probably didn't make playoffs with him. Ramondre
Oh,
Stevenson,
gosh, why
Jordan
remind me?
RB3. I know you're a big Ramondre guy though. Like,
know,
that's your guy.
Have we even talked about what I did on the pod?
No,
have
we
we
haven't
we
talked
haven't.
about it. No.
Fill us
So
in.
Tell us. I don't even know what you did.
brief little.
I might be in this
synopsis.
league with you.
man, in a main league, I had Zonovan Knight, Ramondre Stevenson, and Miles Sanders. And I obviously was going to start Miles Sanders. And Ramondre Stevenson, this morning I looked, and they're like, game time decision, going to warm up and see how he feels. And I'm just like, I like Zonovan Knight. Thought it was a good spot for him. And I was like, I guess I'll just play Knight. And then, because if Stevenson doesn't, I know the running backs on my roster. So it's like, if Stevenson doesn't play, then I'm screwed. So I just was like, I played Knight. And I lose by 17. And the difference between Ramondre Stevenson and Donovan Knight was like 21.
Don't say anything else. Moment of silence for Jordan's fantasy football season.
In that league, I was the high point guy too.
Even the best fall down sometimes. RB4, Derrick Henry. RB5, Christian McCaffrey at 22.8. And David Montgomery at running back 6, 22.6. That one kind of surprised me. Then Tyler Algier, 17 carries for 139 yards, 22 fantasy points. He's only 39% rostered. I know it's kind of a hot hand approach there, but this one really kind of surprised me. Cordero Patterson still had a touchdown there, of course. Saquon Barkley, we'll give him a shout out. Finally got 20 points again, RB9. Like, welcome back, Saquon. That's kind of maybe didn't make playoffs if Saquon's on your team. But RB duds, we got Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. Like, it's a weird deal. Like, Deshaun Watson comes and Nick Chubb's like not even startable almost anymore. Like, it's terrible. Deonta Foreman, I know he's not like a huge, like, that was a guy I saw people recommending playing. Like, I had playoff matchups where people played Deonta Foreman. Miles Sanders, that's your other guy, Jordan. I'm sorry. Isaiah.
He was so good all year long.
He's
and then
been
just,
so good. He's carried you.
And then just
almost
week
say.
one, it's just like, well.
Especially with your draft capital, you probably spent
Yeah,
on Miles
yeah.
Sanders. Yeah. He deserves more recognition. Not more. The same recognition Josh Jacobs has been giving. Miles Sanders should be getting too, probably.
He just let you down in the playoffs, and
Yeah.
it's just tough.
And then Jamal Williams is kind of like he's just not getting those touchdown carries, and they're trying to get him to him too. Like, he just didn't get it today. And then Joe Mixon,
Dude, that one is rough, isn't it?
Joe Mixon is just
7.9, 8. We'll call it 8.
Yeah. And then DeAndre Swift just did okay, but not like, where you got him. But Jordan, you want to read us our wide receiver dudes and duds. This is the strangest wide receiver dudes I think I've seen this year.
Outside of 2, probably.
Yeah, so we got Zay Jones, the number 1 wide receiver 1 at
Let's
32
go.
points. KJ Osborne at 27 points. Justin Jefferson at 24. AJ Brown number 4 at 22.6. Then you got Russell Gage at number 5 with 21.9. Noah Brown at number 6 with 19.9. Then you got like Waddle. Then you even got like Dotson, Godwin, Hill. That's your top 10 right there.
Yeah.
And at 11, I don't even keep going down, but like Shaheed from New Orleans. So it's just like, it's a little wacky wide receiver week here.
Yeah, very wacky. And then we got
So duds, we got like DK, Brandon Ayuk.
I thought it was a really good spot for Ayuk too.
Yeah. Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Michael Gallup, Chris Olave, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams. There's some big names on there that let you down in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, Adams really hurt you in this week. Hopefully you were able to recover from that. Phil, you want to get into some tight ends?
Yeah, definitely. Let's get into some tight ends here. So George Kittle, really big game there on Thursday night.
It's probably why Ayuk didn't have a good game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Juwan Johnson, and he had 23.3 points. Juwan Johnson with 20.7. Dawson Knox with 18.8. CJ Uzama with 17.1.
Two TD catches.
That's right. And Travis Kelce, first week back in the last, I think,
2 weeks.
2 weeks, where he finally is over 10 points here.
And that he didn't have a
Still no
touchdown
TD.
either. Yeah,
No,
10
still
for
no
10,
TD.
105.
And then do we want to do duds? I know we always kind of go back and forth on duds. Hawkinson,
I think we
Everett, I
should.
guess you could say, Parham.
I got Dalton Schultz, the other tight end, caught the touchdown pass today. Mark Andrews had a bad dead game.
Njoku,
Yeah,
4.3.
Dulcich had a great matchup and did not perform.
Yep.
Did you
I
say
mean, we had Brett
you said
Ripe in
Andrews,
the
right?
back, so.
You said Andrews?
I did say Andrews.
I think Andrews is probably the biggest stud. You probably didn't make playoffs if you have him.
Yeah, Andrews.
Because you
is
drafted
not.
him high, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's just touch on waivers here, Jordan. We'll have some more out there on our dudes.
Yeah,
Center
I
if you
mean,
wanna check that.
what is out there? Like, I don't.
Jerick McKinnon's still only 68% rostered.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins is 61% rostered.
Yeah.
He's playing good.
The Taylor injury, like, got to monitor that. Zach Moss, if Jonathan Taylor's out.
Yeah, Zach Moss, 5% rostered.
Deion Jackson, too. I know he's 8% rostered. They might split carries.
Yeah, they
he
will.
caught the touchdown pass.
I'm seeing Tyler Algier at 39% rostered.
Yeah, it's just tough because you don't know what they're going to do there. But yeah.
They might run the ball more now because the Ritter's in the backfield.
Yeah, what do you think about Osborne? Because that's probably not something. I don't think I'd chase those points.
No, I wouldn't chase Osborne.
He has back-to-back double-digit games, but he's had like the Lions and the Colts. So,
Yeah.
They play the Giants this week, so maybe not a terrible matchup. You said, yeah.
It's
Juwan-
just hard because there's not a lot out there for
Yeah,
waivers.
Zay Jones, when you throw Zay Jones, he's had a couple good games.
What's he owned? I think he should.
He is
should have been
44% rostered.
Yeah.
So Zay Jones.
But it's just hard because there hasn't been any injuries, right?
no.
Who's gotten hurt? Jonathan Taylor. Who else got hurt this week?
That's the main one that's really sticking out in my mind. Like,
Because the reality is, like, there's no one on bye. It's like you're probably just sticking with what you have, right? Like,
Yeah.
Zay Jones, though, they're playing the New York Jets, though, so it's not like
it's not an easy game.
not an easy
matchup.
game, but he's scored, at least 17 points 3 out of his last
Well, it's
4
the Jaguars
games.
just chucking the ball all over the place.
So it's probably not terrible to play him. Like,
But it's just hard because that means you're not. I don't know. Like it's just interesting to see.
Darren Waller, like Seth said, you probably should pick up.
Yeah.
If he's been dropped.
Yeah. Titans defense played really good this week. I know you probably aren't excited about that, but they're playing Houston next week.
Did you guys see that?
Not
that
a terrible
interception?
team to stream defensively. Oh yeah, show that Titans
I'll
interception.
show that interception. It was like an old Seahawks film tip drill. Is
Yeah,
what it looked like.
Yeah, a little volleyball action, bump set and spike. Marlon Mack has back-to-back weeks with touchdowns, Jordan, like back-to-back 14-point games. Like
It's an interesting
kind of
one.
weird playing the Rams this week. They're banged up.
But again, like, do you feel any type of confidence going to semifinals playing Marlon Mack?
Jahan Dotson is only 36% rostered. That's
And
another
who do they?
issue.
They have
The Niners.
San
that's
Francisco.
Niners,
That's
though.
not
a
a
rough
good
one.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for potential matchups that you might be.
maybe a league winner. Cleveland Browns defense, other than Cincinnati, they've had 31 points against Houston. They had 17 on Saturday versus Baltimore. They play the Saints this week. That's probably not a bad defense to stream to fill in right there. Like that defense is playing pretty well, other than against Cincinnati. So yeah, I think that kind of does it with our waivers. Like Dawson Knox finally had a good game. I don't know if you want to chase those points. Dawson Knox is tied in 9 on the season in PPR.
Yeah, he's kind of had a couple good weeks. That just spike weeks will get you there.
But I think that kind of does it, guys. Or anything else you want to add on this show here for our, full recap here? Anything
No.
else you want to say, Phil?
We got an interesting slate next week. We got a bunch of Saturday games with Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
and then 3 on Christmas Day, and then 1 on the So it's,
How many games on Saturday? I think it's more, right?
Yeah, we got almost like the whole. It's like the whole. It's the opposite of this weekend. So like
So 3
most of
games
the
on Saturday.
No.
Most games.
3 games on Christmas Day. All the rest. So we got like
So red zone on Saturday
red zone on
will be on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah,
sweet,
yeah.
sweet.
It's on
Perfect.
Sunday too, I think, right? Or no, it's not. Okay.
because it's 3 primetime
Yeah.
games.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. As always, go ahead and share us with the dude if you had a good listen. And we will see you on Thursday. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.